boys. What do we got for crazy wacky news this time around? What do we got? This is disgusting behavior. His home was destroyed over unpaid rent. TikToker faces 10 years in prison for pepper spraying babies. Oh my god. Excuse me? What kind of wacky news is this? I love wacky news, to be honest. I love wacky news.
This TikToker just got hit with felony charges after blasting pepper spray at a boat full of tourists, including a toddler, because her phone was too loud and someone let her know, hey, can you please turn down your phone? So her response was, how is that a valid response? Like, excuse me, what? Imagine you're on the calm Riverwalk boat tour in San Antonio, enjoying the lights of the water in
San Antonio, California. Is that am I guessing that correctly? Scrap, can you control your Californian people already? Jesus fucking Christ, honestly. God damn it, man.
thinking, hey, it's just a perfect night outside. Then a teenager with her phone on speaker is blasting through TikToks, and suddenly you're like, okay, can we either put in some headphones or maybe turn down that volume, or maybe
is that in Texas? Oh, I don't fucking know. Does it look like I know what the fuck America has in their shit? I thought it was in California, because we all know that all those crazy people are in California at the end of the day. Either that or else Florida. I keep hearing a lot of stories about Florida, and you know, that's about it, you know. I don't know.
paid to be on this boat ride. Why are you on TikTok? Why don't you just enjoy the scenery? And then in response,
I ain't American. Ko don't know her states.
That's
Your
crazy.
mom doesn't know her
I gotta
states.
see this video. Sorry, I gotta watch this live.
A 17-year-old accused of pepper spraying tourists on the Riverwalk is in jail. Investigators say the attack happened on November 15th
obviously.
and left a woman, toddler, and multiple passengers hurt. Now, Cassidy Trevino faces 3 charges.
Trevino's bond is set at just over $100,000, and the 17-year-old was reportedly already on probation when it all happened.
you're 17 and you're already on probation, and then you go out.
How do you manage to get on probation at 17 years old, dude? That's crazy to hear that, to be honest.
and act like this? And like the fact, this isn't like self-defense. This isn't anything. She pepper sprayed elderly and a baby. Hello? How would you ever think that is a good idea? And again, this is all because she didn't like being heard that she had to turn down the volume of her phone or leave the ride if she refused to do so. The whole thing happened on November 15th around 8:30 p.m.
November
on the Go
15th.
Rio boat that was moving along the normal route when one passenger kept her phone blasting over the tour guide, which, you know, the whole point of a tour guide is to listen to the tour guide as you ride through the town and city, and you learn about the city as you're riding through. It's hard to listen to a tour guide if some entitled teenager is sitting there blasting TikToks. So it's like a no-brainer. They asked her, hey, can you please turn down or turn off your phone? Have some common decency. What is this? And I feel like it's important to note, this isn't a sign that the generation is cooked. It's just the Gen Z bad apples act out in Gen Z ways. But this is absolutely not a good thing. But according to the police, she got upset and the mood on the boat changed, and the operator stopped the tour to ask her to get off. She did get off the boat, but she did not stay calm.
Stop recording me. I'll slap you. I will slap you.
You don't know Appalachian.
What happened?
This is like coming across as a whoa Vicky, but without the
God, dude, dude, I know what kind of woman she is too as well. She is a Latina, because they said her name specifically, but she has that ghetto ratchet Latina look or so, and that ghetto ratchet Latina kind of vibe or so. She really does. She give off that actual vibe itself, you know. The eyelashes are like super massive. The makeup is super heavy and everything. She has a piercing as well, also on her, like, what is it, her left cheek or so? Yeah, she has like a piercing right there.
character.
Tell me what's gonna happen. You're gonna get arrested. That's what.
She's threatening to end someone's life over having to turn off her phone and get off a boat.
Yeah, she's that ghetto. Does she have a scepter ring? I don't think so. I didn't see it.
Fascinating
But
behavior.
she is
I
that
wish
ghetto
she had
ratchet
someone
one.
in her life to teach her that she's not the main character, because this is just embarrassing. But according to witnesses and the affidavit, after she got removed from the boat and the video was taken, it got way worse. She walked under a bridge, climbed onto it, and then pepper sprays down on to all of the passengers from the bridge.
What the the fuck? Are you serious? Oh my! So she jumped over the bridge or so to stand by the side of the bridge and pepper sprayed people down when they were passing by, dude. What kind of mentalness is that shit, dude? That's some crazy ass shit. No, you said I was black. You know, you didn't say I was Latino anymore. I'm black now. You already took me over to your black delegation. So, besides, Twitter said, you know, I'm black now. So.
This almost sounds like a cursed version of like that Disney ride where you can shoot that water cannon at other park goers on the ride. But she, instead of a water cannon, did it with pepper spray. And the people on the boat ranged from babies to elderly, and she just sprayed them down while on probation. How did you not think this was going to be a felony?
Been cleared and has been invited to the cookout.
8 people were hit, including a 3-year-old child and an elderly woman. Victims said that their eyes and skin burned and they had trouble breathing, and the pain lasted a long time. Pepper spray may look small, but it is definitely powerful and is made from the same chemical that makes hot peppers burn your mouth, but way worse. And in some cases, people struggle to breathe because their lungs react to the chemical, which makes it a lot more dangerous for children or older people. But I'm guessing in the same way she didn't care about ruining people's tour.
Yeah, but explain the black delegation for me, specifically that one guy in what is it, Ghana or so, that's making boats. Can you explain that to me? Can you explain the black delegation, why he's down there making boats in Ghana?
She probably didn't care about these people at all, hence why she just sprayed down the entire boat with pepper spray. What a hateful and spiteful yet extremely childish thing to do. This is like her 2 last brain cells rubbed together and came up with the idea of, I'm mad. Well, I have pepper spray on me. Let me spray down the boat. Well, congratulations, you just racked up some felonies and got your TikTok account banned. But we'll get to that later. But obviously, adults alone,
did she record her TikTok for that?
To be able to open
no
their eyes
way
again.
that
Kids
she recorded that.
Way worse, and people with asthma and breathing problems can end up in real medical danger. And that's important to note because prosecutors will keep that in mind, that she had no way of knowing how much damage she could have caused these people when she attacked them. But this video that was posted on TikTok reached millions of people. And after the actual attack, one person even told the kid's mother, you need to call the police. That's assault on your baby. And she was definitely right here. And shortly after, she was arrested because the arrest happened because TikTok basically solved the case in real time. Clips started going all around the victims, including a small kid who was hurt. And people also shared pictures of Cassidy with calls for people to find her. And as if things couldn't have gotten worse for her, her probation officer saw the video, recognized her, and alerted investigators. So then, of course, to make things even worse, a San Antonio Police Department street crimes officer also knew who she was right away. Crime Stoppers then received multiple—
Are you serious? They know exactly who this girl is? Brother in Christ, put her to jail already. God damn, dude. They already know who it is specifically. So she has been caught multiple times, yet she still roams around like it's nothing. God damn, dude. Honestly, that's just crazy at this point.
Tips from people online who identified her. And I guess this is the part where going viral stops being fun, because you can't hide from an app that sends your face to millions of people. So about 11 days later, police arrested her and booked her into Bexar County Jail on a bond of $110,000. The charges against Cassidy are not small, and the law in Texas treats them with real weight, because third-degree felonies can lead to 2 all the way up to 10 years in prison.
Give her 10
and
years.
That is before you even consider fines, restitution, or probation terms. There's plenty of room here for some civil cases too, because you could easily have hospital bills here, and then courts also look very closely at cases involving children and older adults, because, you know, the law considers them more vulnerable, you know, because they are. That means prosecutors don't have to work very hard to convince a judge that, hey, this was serious harm. And then again, to make things even worse for her, she was on probation, which makes everything worse, because when someone who is already under supervision still gets arrested, it really sends that message the previous punishment did not have much of an effect. But even though she's 17, she is being charged as an adult, so penalties don't soften just because of her age. This is one of those situations where this one bad decision will likely follow her for a whole long time. But she's now facing 2 counts of injury to a child, elderly, or disabled person with intent to injure, which are third-degree felonies. She's also facing 1 misdemeanor charge of assault assault causing bodily injury, and third-degree felonies in Texas can lead to 2 to 10 years in prison each. Because she's 17, she'll still be charged as an adult. If she bonds out, she has to remain in house arrest and cannot contact the victims. In other words, she was on her second chance and decided to pepper spray an entire boat because she couldn't turn down her phone volume. Clearly, she's lagging. Come on, all someone did was ask her, hey, can you please turn down your phone? That's it. There was no threat or danger to her. She just got offended for no reason. It was a simple ask to have some respect for others. But somehow that turned into some like high ground bridge pepper spray attack on the boat that she got kicked off of because she couldn't turn down her phone volume. Come on. This is probably one of the more frustratingly stupid stories I've covered in a long time. Like, come on. Imagine being a San Antonio boat operator talking about the history of the town. You ask a woman to leave, she reluctantly leaves, not without putting a massive scene. Clearly, we saw that. And then suddenly, she comes from behind and ambushes the boat with pepper spray. Like, what's going on? Well, the funny part about this, though, is how fast TikTok solved it. And what's even more ironic is she actually got banned from TikTok for this. Obviously, she didn't post too much, but she was definitely pulling like 30,000 views on some videos. Then on top of that, her probation officer found out about this because of TikTok. You know your algorithm is dialed in when you're scrolling on TikTok and suddenly someone you're a probation officer for is on your timeline pepper spraying babies. Like, this story is just so ridiculous. But even without being on probation, Crime Stoppers got flooded with calls from people who never even met her, but recognized her from other videos. This is the downside of doing something illegal in 2025. If you are on TikTok...
They just out themselves out, dude. They literally out themselves out every single time. I swear, you know, there are some bad things about TikTok, but you gotta be, you can't lie though. TikTok literally makes these specific people out themselves out. Like, they're literally their own snitch. You don't even need people to snitch on them. You just have TikTok that snitches for them, you know? They snitch on themselves. They're the biggest snitchers besides any other person trying to snitch on them. That's the funniest thing about it. I find this hilarious, to be honest.
TikTok in general, or have a little bit of, I don't know, public eyes on you, a whole bunch of people can recognize you, especially if you commit crimes. So if you're committing crimes in 2025, you're not only dealing with the law, you're dealing with a bunch of strangers who could probably identify you faster than a whole bunch of police officers can react. But like I said before, she thinks she's the main character, and that's the attitude that got her locked up this fast. And that's probably also the same attitude that got her into trouble the first time, which landed her in probation to begin with. So I guess this is just another person acting like everyone around them exists only to deal with their moods. So it seems like prosecutors will have plenty to work with here. They can just point out that she sprayed people who couldn't escape, like the child or the older adult, and, you know, the fact that she was already on probation and that she ran from the scene. They could also argue that she took an extremely small argument and turned into a felony for no reason whatsoever. So if they want to push for prison time, they have all the facts they need.
You need to call the police and report what. That's an assault on your baby.
I know.
You need to call 911. 911.
Bring daddy. My husband is stuck too. That's my husband.
Yeah, he needs to call 911.
Laksha, 911.
David, help him. Help him. Call 911 for the baby. My husband will call. Call 911.
Please.
Her husband and the baby is sick.
Oh my God.
Siri, call 911.
911. Call 911.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully those people got her to call 911 because she really needs to see some jail time for this, because that is unacceptable. It's just wild to me on how stories like this come from something that's like nothing. Turn down your phone volume. Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Sorry, my bad. That's how any normal person would react to that.
Well, yeah,
like,
of course.
What is going on? Sorry, I'm actually just getting so frustrated.
Well, this is a thing as well. Logic is thrown out the window in America, okay? All right, we all know for a fact that, you know, logic is like taken out from their brains and they just dump it outside. That's just kind of like how it is now these day and ages.
This story. This is so like the fact she pepper sprayed a baby over this. Okay, it's a toddler, but still, it's the same thing. Honestly, she's kind of lucky that a parent didn't see this and throw her into the river. But, you know, since everything was basically caught on video, it's safe to say it's going to be an uphill battle for her in court. Or for her public defender. Imagine the public defender that gets this case and he just looks at the sheet and he's like, oh. That public defender life is not for the weak. But hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I love these, like, you know, wacky news of the week or so. Well, I wouldn't say wacky news of the week, but wacky news in general. So what's been happening, you know? Alpha male guru allegedly stolen millions from business partners, you know? I think I love Atozy for his like insane coverage on like wacky news in general. I love it, dude. I love Atozy. Atozy's great. Such a fucking great person, to be honest. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. What other wacky news are we gonna hear today? I'd be so curious. I love Wacky News Day. I think I should do something like that. Wacky News Day would be something pretty entertaining to see. But yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And